Let's talk about the real origins of Memorial Day. Not the cookout and the mattress sales, but the truth. After the Civil War ended in 1865, it wasn't some federal holiday that sparked Memorial Day. It was the freed black people in Charleston, South Carolina, who held one of its first major ceremonies in honor of Union soldiers who died fighting for their freedom. They cleaned up a mass grave of over 250 Union soldiers, gave them proper burials, and then held a parade with thousands of black men, women, and children marching to say, "We are free, and we remember those who died for it." They honored those who fought against slavery long before the nation officially did. So today on this Memorial Day, we will honor the fallen, especially those who died for freedom, not just flags. We remember the truth because Black history is American history. Don't let them rewrite it. Say their names, tell their stories, live their legacies. So we're gonna jump to this reaction video and get into it. Peace and love, family.
On behalf of Akuno Sankofa for Bay, you know what I'm saying? Jay, where you at? We're trying to help our people elevate. Hope. H-O-P-E. We're giving them hope. We doing what we gotta do, you know. Every day, one step at a time, man. We gonna make it happen. Helping our people elevate. Yeah. Sometimes I practice focus, thought, and meditate. I'm trying to come with other ways to help our people elevate and seeking knowledge, make me levitate. The lifted mental state is what results from how we orchestrate. This for the family's sake. Let's self-reflect and self-evaluate. And every day, make sure the steps you take, you calculate. Receive a master's fate. I know I can't exist without the hate, but that's okay. I balance that with higher self today. Success is on this way, and after that, my flesh can pass away.
Memorial Day's origins are shrouded in mystery and intrigue. Numerous towns across the United States vie for the honor of being recognized as its birthplace. Among those, Waterloo, New York, or Carbondale, Illinois stand out, yet historians believed that the first continuous commemoration might be in Columbus, Mississippi, where in April of 1866, a group of compassionate women took it upon themselves to decorate the graves of fallen soldiers, turning their grief into a solemn tradition. However, a lesser known yet equally compelling tale comes from freedmen in Charleston, South Carolina. This hidden chapter came to light thanks to David Blight, a professor of American history at Yale University. On a fateful day in 1996, while digging through boxes at Harvard's Halton Library, he stumbled upon a treasure, a handwritten account of the first Decoration Day in 1865. Accompanying this narrative was a clipping from a New York Tribune labeled First Decoration Day. So, in the spring of
Before it was called Memorial Day, it was called Decoration Day.
1865, the Civil War had just ended. The city of Charleston laid in ruins, a somber backdrop against a slow march towards freedom. The war had left many scars, but none more profound than the makeshift prison at Washington's Race Course and Jockey Club, a once lavish playground for the Southern elite, was now a stark reminder of cruelty and captivity. Here, in the open-air field of the racetrack, more than 260 Union soldiers perished, subjugated to disease and exposure, their bodies hastily buried into a mass grave. Once Confederate forces evacuated, leaving behind the battered city, an extraordinary event unfolded, initiated by the newly freed African Americans. These men and women who had just endured the shackles of enslavement stepped forward to honor those who laid unremembered in the makeshift graves. And as their first act of liberty was not one of celebration for themselves, but one of commemoration for the fallen. With meticulous care, they exhumed the mass graves, and over 10 days, they reburied each soldier, transforming the site into a dignified resting place. They erected a towering whitewashed fence around the newly sanctified ground, declaring it martyrs of the race course. This act was not just about giving the soldiers a proper burial, but it was a profound statement of humanity and grace from those who had long been denied it. And then, in April 1st, 1865, what happened next was truly unprecedented. What can only be described as a collective moment of catharsis. Approximately 10,000 people, mostly Black freedmen in Charleston, South Carolina, gathered at the race course. The day commemorates with a parade of 3,000 Black school children who marched holding roses and singing John Brown's Body. They followed by scores of adults from Aid Society for free Black men and women. But these scenes were not about a somber mourning, but a peaceful celebration and a tribute to the spirit of the fallen and the declaration of a new beginning.
I just want to add on that that's something that in our culture we've always done was honored our ancestors and honor those who made the way for us, honor those who made the sacrifices for us to be where we are today. And so it would make more sense to me that it was founded by people that look like us because this was something that we'd already been doing.
Throughout the day, Black pastors delivered moving sermons, led spiritual hymns, filled the air of hope and renewal, and families gathered for picnics under the warm spring air, sharing stories and dreams for the future. Patriotic songs echoed throughout the day, and as the afternoon wore on, Black and white Union regiments marched around the grave sites in a powerful display of unity. The graves themselves were transformed with a tapestry of flowers filled with sweet scents, mingled with the spring breeze, and the sight was said to have brought a tear of joy to many an eye.
I just thought about it also. I'm not going to keep stopping it, but Europeans or Christianity considered honoring the dead as evil. And so I can't see them being the ones who would even have started this.
Was a heartful tribute, a moment of pure human connection from the depths of sorrow and strife. For many years afterwards, the story remained hidden, cloaked in the silence of the white community of Charleston. It briefly resurfaced in a forgotten correspondence in a 1916 letter from the United Daughters of the Confederacy in New Orleans, seeking information about a large parade of freedmen on a horse track at the end of the war. The reply from the Charleston chapter was regretful and evasive, stating that I regret I am unable to gather any official information in response to this. Decades later, Union General John A. Logan led a veterans group called for a National Day of Remembrance for Fallen Soldiers, which was officially marked as Memorial Day, March 30th, 1868. Celebrations began taking place at Arlington Cemetery, and with each passing year, the origins of the day in Charleston grew dimmer and faded from the collective memory of the nation. Fast forward to the 20th century, when the once sacred site of the old racetrack was replaced with urban development and the original graves were relocated to Beaufort's National Cemetery. Thus, the true origins of Memorial Day were overshadowed by a more formal national observance. However, the story doesn't end there. Many years later, at the Smithsonian's National Museum of American History, historian David Blight shared a forgotten history of the first Memorial Day. After his presentation, an older Black woman approached him, her voice tinged with curiosity and awe. She recounted her grandfather had told her stories of a parade led by freedmen on an old racetrack, stories that she always wondered if they were actually a part of family legend or something more substantial. She asked Blight, "Do you mean those stories are true?" Visibly moved, Blight confirmation, renewed interest, and validation to the legacy preserved through family tales but lost to the public knowledge. As we celebrate Memorial Day each year, it serves as a reminder not just for those who died in past wars, but also as a strength and resilience to who, despite being oppressed, have contributed profoundly to our shared history.
As we reflect on this Memorial Day, let's remember freedom was not free, and it sure wasn't given. It was fought by for those who wore Union blue and bled red for the future they'd never fully see. Thousands of Black men, many of them formerly enslaved, picked up arms to fight for the United States, not because it was always fought for them, but because they believed in something greater: liberation, dignity, and justice. So before we fire up the grill or scroll past another flag post, let's honor the truth. Let's say the names of the Black soldiers, the freedmen, the women and children who honored them first in Charleston in 1865. Because Memorial Day didn't begin with America remembering us, it began with us remembering America. Peace, power, and truth.